So just a little backstory here. So yeah, today, sweet friends, listeners, everybody, we have a friend of the show, Steve Roehm. And Steve, the last time that we were together in conversation, I believe it was with Dr. Bandler in December of 2025.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we talked about ending suffering today. It's a great episode for anybody that has not listened to that. Sweet Noah and April, possibly we could drop a link below when we drop this as well for that episode with Dr. Bandler. So, all right, it is on fire out there, Steve. It is hot, 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 hot. The world, people feel like it's a hot mess. Folks
It is.
are maybe because it is, right? But you know what though? We had a guest a couple weeks ago, Megan Dawson, and we talked about being messy, and like that's part of becoming. And we're pretty tapped in here to kind of like spiritual pulses, where people are at. They're living through their heart, they're living through their light. So first thing is, Steve Roehm, what is lighting your heart up right now?
It's lighting my heart up right now. Um, Being creative, I think, is it's really kind of come back lately. As I've started over the past few months architecting software, uh, a newfound desire to get my guitar back out and spend several $1,000s on one.
Yeah.
It's really just being creative and connecting with that creative side of myself that I've kind of ignored for a while, I think.
Do you know where you were before when you were ignoring it?
The past couple of years have been a bit of a struggle, business wise, deciding where I want to go with my business, what I want to do. It seems like the climate of my industry has shifted some, and it's forced me to really re-examine some things and decide what still works and what doesn't, and what I want to continue to work with and what it's time to leave behind. It's just time to do something different, I think. And of course, being an Aries, of course, I gotta thrive on novelty and really need it.
I need it. Yeah. So, for me, and you know this, Steve, Steve, for those that might be new to the show, um, Steve is a friend. Steve is one of actually my best friends in the whole world, and I adore him. So this is kind of like an insider conversation, for sure. I've walked through my own fires with him. He is someone that I feel like represents, and I want to talk about the state of consciousness, um, and this because we're in the year of the fire horse, right? And Aries is kind of known as the consciousness, if you will, astrologically, that is the I am, I act. And as a hypnotherapist, and Steve has been a colleague of mine, he's my teacher, and I truly believe Steve to be one of the greatest examples of the I act and I am states of awareness, states of consciousness. And for me, one of the things that I think is really interesting about what you were talking about is about passion and about discernment. Like what's lighting you up, right? That was the question that I asked. And I feel like folks, we're learning to live with fire. Like Aries are spicy people. I'm traveling to New York next week, and I was looking, Steve, and I realized that one of my dear friends, Jamie Sue, shout out to another Aries, okay? Y'all's charts, your birth charts, you have the same sun, right, in Aries, different degrees, which means something different to me because I follow a numerological polymath system of understanding that, like states of consciousness and astrology, but you guys were super similar. Like she's a Cancer rising like you are. You have a different moon placement. Your moon is in Libra. Her moon is actually in Cancer. So nonetheless, I digress. But what was cool about it was I thought, what do these two people have in common? And I've known Jamie Sue since I'm 5 years old, right? Like she's picking me up at the airport next Thursday. She's just a great person. Jamie is like a cheerleader for life, Steve. She walks around like her leadership, her action, her manifestation of who she is like, woohoo, I am here. And like she's there for you with like that spirit of enthusiasm. And she has a bit of the camp counselor in her. She loves fiercely, as do you. And she is a little bit for me sometimes. Like when I get in large groups, Steve, what do I do? I don't get loud in a large group. I stand back, I observe, I look, I listen. And you and Jamie are people. And my friend Kiki, another Aries, like I've been surrounded by Aries. Those are two of my oldest and dearest friends, will be in the middle of it.
I don't know about that.
Well, let me give you an example of my dear friend Kiki at a Prince concert.
I don't know. I don't know Kiki, but I know
Right. But she was at a Prince concert with me, and she literally, like, she caught his hat, which she gave away in college, but that's another story for another time. And she, like, somebody went down at the concert, whatever, because she was in such like a place. It's like you with the dead, right? Like she was so filled with who this music was to her and her spirit, and her I am was just like, what? She freaking went down like a box of rocks. She like fainted. And no drugs or anything involved. Like it was like, oh my God, like mounted police had to come, like me, like the nurturing Cancerian, who didn't do drugs, who didn't drink. She wasn't either. None of us. We were too young. Nobody was doing that then. And I literally like got on the horse with her, with the police, right? Like that. It was like hilarious. So you guys are very funny people in the way that your passion is just who you are. And for those of us that have to really tap that, I don't know that y'all know how much we revere some of that. Like it's hard for me and my little water flowy, heady, airy fairy. You guys represent an Aries state of consciousness for me, represents an opportunity for me to learn how I can belong from my heart and act from a place of authenticity with who the fuck I really am. That is what y'all have taught me in vastly profound ways. And what I want to do, Steve, is I want to teach people today, in a nutshell, like how the fuck you do that.
I don't know that I do that. I be that.
You
There's
be that. Yes. See? Being that.
I don't know how to teach that.
Yes, you do. Because it's
I know how to teach a lot of things, but I'm not sure I know how to teach that.
Well, let me tell you why. From modeling it through your life. Right? That's
I can represent it, and I think people can pay attention to it and they can take what they want from it. But how do I encapsulate that in a way that I could present that to someone and give them the ability to learn from it? Because that's this thing about teaching, and I say this to every single class I've ever taught. I can teach it to you, but you have to learn it.
Yes, no, completely. I was not getting as deep as you are and as profound as you are, to be really frank. Like I was just talking about.
That was profound.
Well, it's about the being, right? It's like about the being and not the doing. And so I was just saying, teaching through example, just through your sheer existence of people that bounce off of you, people that get to be around you, that people are with you. I think that when we ask people, what does your heart feel? You guys are the first ones to know oh yeah, I'm into that, or no. Like I heard you in an interview a couple months ago, and somebody was, asking you questions, and it was about intimacy, and you were like, yeah, you know, if I don't want to, I'll just tell you no. That's somebody that's in touch with who they are.
I think after 56 years, I've learned to accept what I like and what I don't, and
Hmm.
willing to let go of what doesn't matter. That's why again over the past couple of years I've been looking at my life and what's going on. What do I need to change? What isn't working? What do I want to incorporate that's going to bring more joy to my experience? You
Hmm.
know, so I've
Hmm.
to be honest about it, I got 20, 25 years ahead of me. What do I want to do with it? You know, and one thing I have, well,
That's all you think you have?
healthy years, happy. I mean, really healthy years, probably. I don't know, maybe 30 if I'm lucky. You know, I whatever it is irrelevant. It's
Good.
what do I want to do with the time between now and then,
Yeah.
and what's it worth? And something that I've been having a lot of my coaching clients do is actually write their eulogy as if they passed away at 95 years old, and they've achieved everything they wanted to in their life. And I'll have them write that and think about, what is it that I want to do with the rest of this time? And then bring them back and say, write your eulogy for tomorrow. Now, what's in the gap? That's what you need to fill.
Yeah, you know whose favorite expression is living in the gap? Jamie Sue, another Aries.
There you go.
So, living in the gap, that's a fascinating concept because, you know, the kind of topic, the conversation that we're having today, and I think that the world is reflecting this as well, is beginning before we're ready. Recognizing that there is not a perfect time for things, there is really now for
Mhm.
things. Um, that that requires a lot of letting go. Mm.
Or just stepping into.
Yes, that makes it easier. That feels really a lot softer.
Well, I think people are afraid to step into things, and it's okay to be afraid and step into things.
Yeah, they can coexist in the Venn diagram beautifully.
It's okay, because if you step into that fear, then you realize most of the time, depending on what the fear is, and sometimes it's really there to protect you, and people do stupid things. So I'm not telling you to step into every fear you have, uh, but
Good advice.
people are afraid to take action. People are afraid to do something different. People are afraid to step out of the norm. People are afraid to say who they really are. People are afraid to be who they really are. And then we just live lives of quiet desperation. And where does that take you except regret at the end of it? If you only have 25 years left of your life, what the hell do you want to do with it? It's yours. What kind of choices do you want to make? What do you want to experience? What do you want to see? What do you want to hear? What do you want to feel? What do you want to change in your life? What do you want to change for other people? Do you want to change anything for other people? It's okay if you don't. Nothing wrong with it. Just saying, just decide what it is that you want. If you want to be selfish for the rest of your life, fantastic. Be that way. It's all good. Go live your life in whatever way you want to, but figure out what it is that makes you happy and go for it, and stop being stuck in some idea of a thing that isn't even real. Because for the most part, our fears are just there to protect us in some way, but most of the time it's to protect us from things we experienced 50 years ago.
Mhm. Well, for me, a lot of fear, and for folks out there that are listening, it can show up with an embodiment. And one of the reframes that I've been working on with my clients is that feeling, that anxiety in your body, um, it's getting you ready to step through to another place where that isn't there. That's what it's doing. It's telling you to move. And that's a very I act state. because I can't believe and no judgment, right? Like I had a couple as Aries came across, and I know Steve, for you this might not mean very much, but for others it means a lot. So when we shifted into Aries last week, we're taping today. I'm gonna guess it's Thursday, the 24th of March, right?
It's
So
26.
what is it?
26. My
Thank
birthday
you.
was 2 days ago.
Oh, that's right. Steve, see, that's how out of time I am. And remember, I used to like know what time it was, everything else. But anyway, Chiron came across and Chiron is your wound, okay? And for Gen Xers out there, the wound in your soul that, your kind of star chart, the map, the GPS that God sent you with, our wound as Gen Xers is in our I am. I act. It's in Aries. We all have that in common. We have Chiron and Aries. And Chiron was the wounded healer. And Virgo kind of is the consciousness that blends with that. And I'm an 11-degree Cancerian, which is it's a very Virgo Cancer led. So for me, embodiment is how this stuff shows up. And I literally had a freak out about my embodiment, about the worst fears of what I've walked through in my own life with my own body. And it was like, cue the fear, gong, and realizing that that was then, this is now, and the fear is there to get my attention to possibly examine what I need to do to make myself comfortable, to make myself centered, to make myself grounded, to bring health and balance to me. And man, knowing that that fear is going to pass, it just can overwhelm us sometimes, right? So this whole thing of beginning before we're ready, I think that the fear of failure, and for me, like with this Aries season and this Chiron day on Monday, it was the fear of failure with my health.
Mm.
Like the most profound for me in this now, that would have been like the list up there, like really high up. And looking now at Thursday, right? So 3 days later, the 26th of March, I feel like I was not ready to have to let go of something so huge. And when I have let go of it now, because I'm trusting myself, I'm trusting who the hell I am, that consciousness, the I am, to know I will take care of myself. I will be healthy. I will be the best me that I can be because I know who the fuck I am. And I had to take that fear and I had to really meet it with the support of somebody I trust with my health, somebody that I trust with my heart, somebody that I trust with my light. And I literally had to step into a place of vulnerability. And I was not ready to have to begin to engage any of this fucking shit. So I say all of this to say that one can choose to change how it is that we engage that fire. And Steve is somebody in my life who at different times helped me to create the action in my life from knowing who I am so I could balance my authenticity, like within me, balance it, but also freaking broadcast it. And that is for me a bridge from a place of fear to motivation to actually understanding who we are. And I honor folks that are in, and we all have these consciousness, right? We all have 12 states of awareness in us. So it doesn't matter what sign you are. Your sun is just your heart. But you have, like on the wheel, if you think of like your star map as like a pie, you have certain degrees and angles, and you have a piece of that pie. And the piece of the pie that is actually your I am, I act is your vehicle in the world. Like y'all have been known as the warriors, and I would like for you to address kind of your warrior vehicle, because it's shifted a lot over the years. I've known you a long time now.
Hmm.
And I've watched a real evolution, just as passionate as ever, but also passionate in the quiet steeliness of how you look at things sometimes, as opposed to the presence that, and you know what I'm talking about, that you can command, you can work a room. I mean, you know how to show up. But you also now really know how to hang back. And you've learned a lot from watching.
I think I'm better at working a room from the front of the room
Oh, for you, yes.
than being in the crowd.
Yeah.
I'm not going to show up in a social situation and command a room. Put me on a stage and I'll own it.
What's the difference?
Uh, I'm an introvert, quite
Your
honestly.
Cancer rising. It's your Cancer rising. That's your introvert. That's your shell. That's
With,
like,
with a room full of people, I'm ready to go quickly, typically,
yeah.
unless there is a center of attention, like a concert, you know, where I don't have to interact.
Yeah.
I'm fine one on one in small groups, but in larger groups, I'm definitely going to hold back. My warrior presence shows up on stage
Mhm.
in front of rooms and with individuals, with my coaching clients.
Mhm. I would also say to you, and this is also our conversation, because I'm trying to push the whole astrology thing a bit with you. Your rising, your Cancerian, your shell, that's actually your rising is how you present to the world. So many people that know astrology, they think that I'm a Gemini because I present kind of heady. I present that I move quickly. I get a lot of shit done, pretty organized, and a little bit of a mastermind for the good, always a strategist. And that's my forward facing to the world, right? That's how I present. So, like, you are Cancerian in social situations. I love that because it balances you, because that stage presence, that commandment, like, I can command a stage. Like, you have no problem with that, the way you just said that to me. I love that.
Not at all.
Um, yeah, what's the warrior on stage like? What is it like to be a warrior? Because usually you're using your warrior to motivate others, which is to me the new Aries. You're not just going out and making war. You're using your warrior stance. You're using your fire to gift it to others.
What's the question again?
I want to how what that presence is like on the stage. What is that warrior presence like? What does it give when it's on stage?
Um, what's it like? I'm out of me at that point. I'm not really paying attention to me.
Well, your higher self is coming through. What does it
Uh,
feel like? I mean, what are you doing with your people? What are they experiencing? What are you taking that stance for?
well, it depends on what the stance needs to be, what the
Give some
situation is.
examples.
Well, teaching my students. I'm watching everything that's going on in the room. I'm paying attention to what's happening so I can adjust myself to adjust the room.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's the boring shit. I don't want to talk about that
well, what
because
do
you're
you want
not.
to know?
I want to talk about the stuff like you said that you can be a warrior for your clients, your coaching. I want to talk about that.
Um,
Because there are times that you've said to me there are certain things because of our friendship that you cannot, our relationship, you will not coach me because you couldn't show up in that stance. What is that? That's what I want to know here. I want the secret sauce, dude, because I've
secrets.
never had it.
Again, I get the fuck out of myself. I don't know. I don't
So to help others to
the
get to
boring.
themselves, you get the fuck out of yourself. And then what are you doing with them? To when you're out of yourself and you're with your clients and you're coaching them, to me, what you're doing is you're showing up and you're making them call themselves to fucking boundaries. You're making them show up to authenticity
I'm holding the mirror up. Yeah, no doubt.
in a
So they can see.
powerful way.
I hope so. With most, yeah. With the, yeah. I do everything I can to help my clients get through their stuff as quickly as possible. And to that end, I have to do the boring stuff. I have to pay attention. I have to notice what they're presenting unconsciously.
Mhm.
I'm listening to their language. Again, it's not exciting stuff.
No, no,
So
no. But for instance, no, it's not exciting stuff, but it's actually very loving stuff because nobody's going to pay attention to you like that. Okay, number one.
it's a different kind of conversation.
Co- Correct.
It is a very intimate connection. Uh,
Correct.
People tell me things that they won't tell their best friends and their spouse. Um, but and to I really need that to help them get through their bullshit too,
That's right.
because they've been holding on to their shit too long already at that point, and that's why they
Mhm.
called me.
So I'm trying to hold up a mirror to you because I think that you hold on to your shit too long. So I'm going to use my fire and I'm going to like try to get you to step into some of your own greatness, possibly before you might feel ready to, because you were just kind of dialing down some of like you just do what you do. Like there wasn't any intention behind like who you've created in terms of the support that you offer for clients, for students. Like there's been great, profound intention around it. And one of the stories that I was thinking of was when we had shared office space and there was somebody who had come to you for smoking. Because to me, um, your warrior stance has shown up. Smokers, as somebody who's a coach, who's a hypnotherapist, if you're a smoker, I'm going to immediately send you to Steve. Immediately. It's something I don't understand. I'm not going to, have judgment around it. I'm going to have love about it. I'm going to send you to the best possible person out there who is Steve. If you want to extinguish a habit of behavior, like something that you're doing, that is to me the warrior, right? Like that you can be. And I remember a dude who came in and you were asking him what made him show up there. And of course, I'm paraphrasing because I'm going to ask you to tell a story. And you essentially told the guy, like, you don't want to be here. So just like go home and die. And like,
Yeah.
and you walked out of the room. I want you to
Yeah.
tell that story because this is the
Um,
illustration.
well, and the thing is, that's just a small example, because I've done that with multiple people over the years. Yeah, he really didn't. He had been. I don't remember if he had been coerced to be there or.
His wife wanted him and his family.
Yeah, and yeah, when people show up like that, I tell them, look, you don't want to be here, that's fine. You've got the option. You have the choice. You can go home and you can kill yourself. You've been doing it for years. And I basically just pull the plug at that point. And that typically brings them to a very urgent decision, uh, because they are sitting there by themselves, wondering what to do now, and their only other option is to kill themselves because that's what they've been doing.
And what
So
happened with that guy? Remember what happened with him?
I don't remember that one specifically,
He
no, but
came back. He
I don't
came
doubt.
back.
Yeah, I don't doubt that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he came
so
back.
that's an example of many phone calls that I've had with people.
Okay, give another example. We like a little scoop.
Well, I like firing people on the phone. I have no problem with it.
Firing. Say the Aries. Firing people on the phone.
Yeah,
Tell me.
I do. Oh, well, if they call me because well, a lot of times people call me because they feel like they need to do something, and they're probably right if they want to live longer, but they don't come with the desire to change. And they if they don't have the desire to change, there's nothing I can do to hypnotize a desire into anyone. I can help wake them up and smack them across the face metaphorically, kick their ass metaphorically, and make them look at their life a little different, but it's up to them to make a decision whether they want to continue on and do what they've been doing or change something and allow me to help them get there. So yeah, it happens. It's not unusual that I fire people on the phone. In fact, I'm going to fire somebody on the phone after we finish this meeting because
What are they getting fired for, Steve?
it's for a kid. I'm not just not
Oh,
what I.
yeah, it's not.
It's just not what I do.
Yeah. And it's the parent, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, no, actually, it's not in the situation. But I'm going to fire the parent, yes, but it's not their problem, not their fault.
yeah, I'll talk to you more about that off camera. So, yeah, very interesting. All right. So, yeah, firing people. So, but you feel like, let's be really clear about that, that's the most loving thing that you can do because you're not
That's
going to
fine.
take people's money.
Well, it's loving and it's selfish at the same time because I'm an Aries.
Tell me more.
Well, it either wakes them up or it doesn't, and I'm not going to waste my time with somebody who doesn't really want my help.
Love the smile. It's where, just where I'm at. Just who I am.
Well, I mean, like you said a while ago, I either accept something or I don't,
Pretty
and
much.
I just I draw the line, and that's where I am.
Okie dokie artichoke. But I think that through that, what happens is, and like I said, I've had a lot of Aries in my existence that I've been very close to for long stretches of time. And oh, so you know what I didn't tell you? This is a good one. I went totally Aries this morning for this podcast.
How
Right?
so?
Yeah. I have no script.
Fantastic.
Isn't that so like on me?
Yes, and that is exactly the way I would roll.
No, I know. That's why I did it. Because it's still your birthday week, and I knew that you would be like so like this would be the reaction. I don't do this. And you know what I did instead of the hour that I would have spent like doing what I do before a show? I listened to music and I sang to the Lord. And I just felt good.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
That's pretty much how I roll into my trainings.
I know. It's how you roll in life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, I thank you for this because I knew that I would be with you. And so I knew that I could begin before I felt ready, since that's what we're here to discuss.
Congratulations.
Thanks. I always appreciate the support that you give me.
It's a lot less stressful this way.
For you, sir.
Okay.
For you, sir. I
rarely roll into anything with more than an intention.
and it's worked for you.
Mostly.
I mean, yeah, no, I did it. In fact, before you had come on, because, okay, so let's like in full transparency, like you thought that we were having a meeting, like talk about beginning.
Yeah.
I mean, like that's
I had on a
hilarious.
hat and the t-shirt. I'm like, nah, I gotta put on at least a nice t-shirt.
It was like the sacred mirrors, though. Like I'm totally doing something like unprepared, like unscripted. You're like showing up to something that you don't even know what it is. It just, and I think that we've had a great conversation about beginning before already and about the Aries I act, I am consciousness. So before we let you get away, I'd like to do a little lightning round. See, originally, Steve and listeners, like this is hilarious. This was supposed to be 10 minutes with an Aries. And then we were going to talk about coaching people and how to kind of like let them tap their fire. And that sounded really boring and really scripted.
Hmm.
And so I just thought to myself, what would Steve do? WWSD, Steve. And I thought he would like really just tear up the script and just say, yeah, I'm just going to go and I'm just going to play jazz and I'm just going to like do what I'm supposed to do. And it's going to be fucking awesome. There's one thing so watch, I'm going to rip up. Watch, I'm going to rip it. I'm going to throw it. Okay. Me stepping like that shit's driving me crazy behind me.
I have no doubt.
But that action, was so good for me. Like that, like that is so yeah. I realized I have a stellium in Aries according to karmic astrology. I have my north node in astrology. So my north node is 14 degrees Aries. It means that in my lifetime, I am supposed to be the best version of myself, head towards being an Aries. For me to manifest my best life, I am supposed to act and feel confident that I am the best me through my action in the world. So, nonetheless, I don't know where the hell I was going with that because I don't know the fucking script. But one thing that I did do was I did not dispose of the lightning round questions because they were too good. I wasn't going to rip them up. I'll rip them up at the end. Okay.
Okay.
All right, let's go. This is like going to be my favorite because you're just going to be like, boom, boom, boom. You're going to know these. One misconception about passion, Steve.
One misconception about passion.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. In relation to what specifically?
Passion.
Um,
True.
a misconception?
Yeah, misconception. Like, sometimes people think shit's supposed to feel easy. Like a misconception. Like, oh, you could bottle this shit. A misconception. Like, we'll come back.
It'll be a lightning round, yeah.
We'll come back. One daily practice for clarity.
Meditation.
Can everyone access their higher self and their inner guidance?
Everyone?
That chooses to.
Oh,
Everyone
most
that
people.
chooses to.
I'm not sure that that's true, but I
Okay,
think,
so give your answer.
I think a lot of people are in such a low vibration point right now, they're never going to recognize that it's even there.
Whoa. Okay. Thank you, sir. One sentence for someone afraid to begin.
Stop it. Do it.
I love the stop it. That's one of my favorite things. Didn't you show that a training once with Bob
I
Newhart?
show that at every training.
You do?
And if you haven't seen it, go to YouTube and go watch, look for Mad TV, Stop It with Bob Newhart and Mo Collins. So all the listeners out there, go check it out. It's 6.5 minutes long and it's well worth it, especially if you're involved in any kind of therapy or coaching.
I love it.
Or need therapy.
And tell people who Bob Newhart is because we have listeners in 38 countries.
He's an amazing comedian.
Yes.
Yeah, with immaculate timing.
Immaculate. Brilliant.
Brilliant guy. So,
and he played a psychiatrist.
Something like that, yeah.
Like whatever it was, something like
and
that.
Mo Collins is a comedian out of LA.
Yes. So. It's brilliant. One sentence, Steve, for chronic overthinkers.
Relax.
Yes. Your definition of an awakened life.
Self-examination.
All right. What's one thing that you would like for everybody to be able to understand about themselves?
This is all an illusion. You're better than you think you are.
Phenomenal. One misconception about passion.
You probably haven't. You just haven't found it yet.
Yes. All right. How do we find you?
I'm right here.
I know. I know. You're always right here. It's one of the greatest things about you.
Com. It's ROEHM. Steve, ROEHM.com or NashvilleHypnosis.com. Either way. I'm all over the socials and you can find me all over the interwebs.
Don't you also have some other projects that you've been doing with some creativity that you might want to just briefly share?
I've got a couple things going on right now. If you're a coach or consultant and you're into marketing, I would highly suggest you check out the webinar conversion lab. It's pretty amazing. Webinarconversionlab.ai. Yeah, really,
It's awesome.
really proud of what I put together with that.
Great. And then we'll get April and Noah to drop links.
I'm sorry, not AI. It's a webinarconversionlab.app.
App. I thought it was that app.
It's been a long morning.
I was going to say, ironically, the person who knows nothing about any of that, I was going to be like, Steve, isn't it .app? But I was not going to correct you.
It is. It's webinarconversionlab.app. Also, upgradeyourmeetings.com. If you're interested in building a webinar business, let's chat about that too, because that's a big part of what I'm working on right now.
All right.
Well,
Steve, I thank you so much for sharing time and space and being with us here in this beginning before we were ready episode 73 with Heart and Light Living. I really value, I would say, the authenticity that the leaders, the born leaders, because Aries are at the beginning of the astrological new year. You have to have your I am intact, your vehicle, before you can go anywhere in the world. And so one of the ways that I think that we can all access, whether we are an Aries heart with our sun, or just fellow, fans that want to learn how to walk within our own fire with our own passion, not feeling afraid to do things before we feel ready, just getting out there because we're living in the gap. So, with all of that said, my friends, keep it simple. Simple, repeated actions create deep change over time. Remember to breathe. Remember to tap your heart, your light. And most importantly, remember to come home to you. Thank you so much for being with us today.